another one, this time sponsored by Smart Water. Smart Water, even when you're not intelligent, it makes you feel
smart.
Okay.
Doing how I paid off $11K in 6 months, interview style. Was it OnlyFans? Was it Forex tap in? Like, who knows? We're about to find out soon. We're about to
tap in, man. I need 2 downlines. Hit me up if you're trying to be my downline.
Oh my gosh, y'all gonna have to wake up at 3 a.m. to tap in. Just
tap
so
in,
you know.
tap in. We going up, baby.
All right, but today, like, Micheline is going to talk about her experience of how she paid off $11,000 in only 6 months. So if you are someone who's trying to pay off your student loans, trying to pay off credit card debt, whatever the case is, and like you feel like you're drowning and don't necessarily have a plan, we got one for you. So
yeah, well, what's worked for me, right? So the same things don't work for everyone, but I am more than happy to share my experience, and hopefully it does help someone. But
yeah,
what you were saying as far as like drowning in debt, like I just don't like to feel like I have things hanging over me. And so when this was like December, and I like did an audit of all my credit card debt, I was literally like, there's just no way. I don't know why I'm here. I was literally like, I started assessing all my decisions in the last like year and a half, and I was like, I didn't need that trip. I didn't need that purse. I didn't need to get gel polish on those toes.
But you was flexing on Instagram. You went to Croatia?
I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't.
I'm so weak. Okay, so talk to us about this debt. 11K, where did that come from?
Okay, so I had 2 credit cards. So yeah, this was just mainly across my credit card, so this wasn't like student loan debt. I don't really have like much student loan debt anyways.
Nice.
And this doesn't include like my car note or my mortgage. This was just simply credit card debt. I think the reason why I got in trouble with this at first is because I got credit in like high school, so I've had credit history for a really long time.
That's good,
and
though.
I've been able to like accumulate, you know, I guess trust with the banks, and so they've been increasing my limits. And so like,
that's how they get you.
You know, you increase your limit, I'm like,
oh, I got money to blow.
I got money to spend. And the thing about like, so I'm very like conscious and like, conscientious about my credit score. And so for me, my reasoning was always like, as long as I stay under the 30% utilization, which is one of the determinants of what your score would be, then I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm under 30%. I have a long history. I'm paying on time. I'm paying down my interest. So like, it doesn't matter. And that was the mentality that got me to, I looked at my credit cards and it was $11,000.
I mean, baseline, that's a good formula though. Like, very baseline. But when they give you that like free range of more money on your credit limit, you just feel like, I can spend this and it'll still be under 30%. And so you're like racking it up and you find yourself at 11K.
Was like, I just started praying to God. I was like, I have to reverse this now because it can only get worse.
No, seriously.
It can only get worse, especially if I was doing all the right things, like paying on time. They'll just continue to increase your
limit. Were you just
limit.
doing the minimum value that you were paying though, or like?
No. So that's another thing too, right? Like with my loan all across, like both good debt and bad debt, which we can get into another whatever video. I always pay off like high interest loans first. So like things like when I purchased my home, like I had to buy all new furniture.
But say that place when you did what? Say that place when you did what?
Shut up.
You purchased what?
Anyways, I had to buy new furniture, but like a lot of the furniture stores, if you have good credit, they give you like 5 years no interest. So there is absolutely no reason why I would pay more than a dime over what to do because there's no interest. It's free, basically free money. You just pay back in time. But for the credit cards where I did have higher interest, I would pay that on too.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so when you saw that you had 11K that you had to pay off, walk me through your process.
I stopped eating. I didn't eat, so I got sick.
Fasted 40 days and 40 nights.
I was like, oh my gosh, like we need to buy nothing new. I just knew, honestly, like some things are blessings in disguise and we don't even see them because I was just like, okay, how am I gonna manage everything that I'm trying to do, plus trying to like pay down all this debt? Because I was like, I want to be like debt free with like my credit cards. So honestly, I just like created this plan that was an aggressive payoff plan. Basically taking off like a certain amount of every check and like putting it to nothing but like my credit cards. And then I paused all like unnecessary spending on my cards, so that I was really just paying things off and not accumulate. So anything that I had on like auto pay on those credit cards, I took it off, so that I was just like working on paying it off, and then I can like recreate like a new routine. And then I got like heavy into budgeting. So I have like an Excel sheet. I could talk about the details about that, but I just like,
and I can even put a screenshot in here so they can kind of see.
Like the first thing I did was like, okay, I want this paid off before my 25th birthday. That was my first thing. I set a goal, and then I like allocated a certain amount of my check to go straight to that debt. And then I budgeted, because like you can have these plans, but if you're not checking after yourself, like you literally just might never get there.
Yeah.
And so I kept the Excel sheet. And then another thing that's been like really, really helpful, I put like Mint. The Mint app is like,
oh, I've heard about that.
No, it's amazing. So it like breaks up your spending based on category, which is also like the same categories that I have in my Excel sheet for budgeting. So I linked all my cards and all my spending to the Mint app, so that it would show me like a very accurate, extremely accurate and live dashboard of everything that I spent month to month. And then I just translate that information into my Excel sheet and just like track all my spending.
Okay.
Yeah, and it also like has like reminders, so it reminds me like, oh, you gotta pay this bill on this, da 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 da. Another thing that was a lifesaver for me, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do this, but I put like all my bills on auto pay, so that I wasn't like being can you
First
not?
of all,
Can she
like,
not?
Auto pay, you have to know that you have enough money coming in to put all of your bills. Not like I put 1 or 2 bills on auto pay. Like I put all my bills on auto pay.
God is good now.
Like this is for like the regular people who
God
are trying
is
to.
good.
I put all my bills on auto
God
pay.
is good.
That is, you don't have to do that. Like if you don't have it, like you don't have to do that. Like it's fine.
For me, it's just,
I'm glad that worked for you. Like no, I'm glad that was what got you out of 11K hole. Get all the way. Okay, no, listen. So you talked about splitting your budget sheet into categories. Let's go into that a little bit more. So how did you break up your budget sheet? What does that look like on like high level?
high level, yeah. So all like the main basic things. So like transportation, and so I included like my car, my gas, car washes, all that. Then like food, and it's food like I have like eating out, I have coffee, and then I have groceries.
Coffee?
Yes, coffee.
Dang, you be drinking coffee like that?
I have a budget for coffee. Yes. It's like, do we need to talk?
No, but like the thing is like maybe you can cut that out completely. When you said, yeah, I had to cut out some things completely that weren't necessary, like maybe coffee could have been one of those. You have a brewer at home.
Okay, but you don't know what time I be getting up to go to work.
Oh yeah,
to
tap in. Oh man, come on.
Okay, yeah, so like the food, so groceries, food, I have a weekend budget for like my my life on the weekends. Like
What you be doing on the weekends?
Brunching, going out, parking in the city.
Pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah, this is all like whatever. Then I have like a shopping budget for like just miscellaneous things. But then I put like things that I know are like personal to me. So I have hair, I have nails, I have like Spotify, my graphic and web designer, I pay him on a monthly basis. So I have like that in there. Yeah. So
shout out to MichelineAmisi.com.
Period. Go visit.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you built out a budget and you really took back from the things that weren't necessary. Are there any other strategies or things that you use, or any other piece of advice that you would give to viewers who are trying to like either like pay off debt or cut back, or even just like preventative measures to make sure that you don't even get that far?
Yeah, so honestly to me the biggest thing truly was like budgeting, because when you think about budget, you gotta look at it. I had to look at it like big picture, like my tithes and offerings are on my budget sheet. Because like
down to
you
the
think,
lowest
yeah,
thing.
because you think it's just like it's a cup of coffee. But when I started budgeting, there were like weeks where I can go to $35 just that week of coffee. And that doesn't sound like, and then multiply that by 4, right? And so you don't think about those little spendings, like literally just the coffee. You go to Kroger and you buy like a smoothie, a loaf of bread and water, and you're like, oh, it's just $8. But like doing that here and there, it
adds
like
up.
completely adds up. So like really taking inventory of how you're spending your money and seeing that reflected in like numbers will humble you.
You.
Like what? I was like, okay, first of all, I don't need 2 cups a day. I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks before we cancel them once.
Everybody getting canceled.
Once. And like yeah, so that was the biggest piece. And then also just like using the tools that are available. So Mint has been very helpful. And then so inventory, the tools, and then sticking to the budget is probably the hardest thing.
What I'm hearing right now is like budgeting.
Yeah,
key.
yeah, it really is, because it's like you can have like I have like so many financial goals, so many things I want to do, but if like to me before I started budgeting, I thought like I could argue that I didn't spend a lot of money. I'd be like, oh, I'm like lax on the spending. Once I started budgeting, I was like, I am a lunatic with money. Like,
yeah, you have to take a look in the mirror.
Right, because every time you go to the gym, you work out, you're like, oh, let me go buy a shake here, let me go do this, and I'm like,
dang,
I gotta spend $30 in just one regular day. You just walk out, come back in the house, just spend $100.
Yeah.
Like until we make it 200 occasion, like we can't be we can't be spending money like that.
No, that's a fact. I think that's great advice, honestly. And we're gonna put the budgeting sheet in there in case but I know that Excel and even Google Sheets has like pre-made templates that you can use, but we're gonna put it in there just so you can kind of see the breakdown of how she did it. And like, as we're in this phase of our life, like growing, like it's really important to set ourselves up with our money now so that we're not paying it back later. So just like take a look at your finances, like look in the mirror at yourself and see where you can cut things off, where you can like save places, where you can pay things off, and really get your finances right, because like she said, we're trying to make 200 occasion.
No, for real. And I think another thing too was like when I wasn't tracking things, I would feel like I had more to spend than I actually did. And I was what kept getting me in the hole, because I'd just be like, oh, okay, yeah, buy it.
And when you get that constant paycheck coming in, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get paid, I got money coming in, so you feel secure in that, but you definitely need to track it.
Yeah, and I think honestly, we can do another video on this later, but I think for me, budgeting has allowed me to like have like overall better financial health, because for me it's not just about like paying off debt. Like I'm also very concerned about saving. I'm very concerned about investing, and it's like if I'm over here spending more than I should on my coffee budget, then I'm not putting enough money into my savings or enough money into my investment. And so I'm not allocating my funds the way I should be, because I'm out here thinking I got money for X, Y, and Z, when truly it's like I had to set my priorities, like what percentage of my check is going to necessities, what percentage is going to savings, what percentage is going to investing. And once I assessed that, I was like, you know what, I really don't have $60 for coffee a month. I don't need to get like, my fillings every 2 weeks. Like we might have to stretch 3.
Stretch it up, girl. Stretch it up.
Because that adds up to like $120 on nails a month. Like,
that's a
but
word.
if you're watching this and you want to like spend the money for me to do that, then you can cash at me. Like if you're trying to help me out and you watching this right now, and then like we gonna
be asking for you to cash out them the way you paid off your funds. What? But me on the other hand, like if you want to, like I just had a birthday, so if you want to go ahead and bless the kid,
we're gonna put our cash apps down there.
We're gonna put it right down below.
If you feeling moved, the spirit has spoken to you.
If you're feeling led to do it, then like come on,
tap in.
All right, well, I'm done with this video, but I think you had a lot of gems that you dropped. And like y'all let us know what you do and like how you're feeling about your current financial health and what you feel like you were able to take away from this conversation.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time on The Raw. Bye, y'all.